All right, hey everybody. I wanted to try to get a quick video in today, just because it's been a few weeks since I posted the last video. There hasn't been a whole lot new to cover necessarily, but I did want to talk about the latest drop, or I guess you could really kind of call it a crash in the market that's happened over the past couple of weeks. The NASDAQ has been down as much as around 11%, which is a huge drop in the market. There are some people that are speculating that this could continue to happen. Today was another big down day in the NASDAQ. It was down another 2.4%, which is a big daily drop. So definitely a lot of volatility in the market right now. And, since this crash in the market or drop in the market, I've had a complete reset of my portfolio. As you guys know, I talk a lot about always making sure that you set a stop loss. Really one of the most important things when it comes to trading, so that if your stocks are dropping, it will trigger that stop loss and sell your positions in that stock so that you don't continue to lose more money than what you set your stop loss at. For those that don't set a stop loss, I'm sure seen just massive losses. I've seen people talking about it in various forums and groups and things like that. So just something that you really want to make sure that you have in place if you're going to be doing any trading whatsoever. Every stock you buy should have a stop loss set on it from the time you buy that stock ultimately. But a couple of quick things I wanted to talk about, and some of it is really just kind of recapping some of the previous videos. Starting things off with, these market crashes can be a good thing to a degree, because it can allow you to really move some of your money around, get into some new positions, get into some positions that have really dropped a lot. I've seen a lot of the really big stocks that we've been talking about here in the past and that have been heavily traded over the past few months, which are a lot of the clean energy sector stocks, electric vehicles, EV stocks, and a lot of those clean energy stocks, many of which we've kind of talked about, whether it's solar energy or some form of green energy, had been really climbing a lot in anticipation of the Biden administration and potentially, a lot of funds going into those industries. With this most recent crash, a lot of those same stocks have plummeted. Almost all the gains they've seen over the past, I would say, probably 4 to 5 months, they've been really kind of amped up and picking up speed. They all went back to basically those pre-type of prices. So it's hard to say exactly what everything is going on here. I think that in some cases, those are just all coming into correction territory. I've read some speculation where people are saying that, people may be transferring, some of their portfolio into other areas at this point, which does make some sense. I do have a feeling that some of these energy stocks may not bounce all the way back to where they were at their peak just even, a month or two ago. But to kind of get things started, you can see my account is currently at $39,671. I am down about $3,000 from the last video that I made. And it could have been a lot worse ultimately. And I did fairly well today. I didn't have huge gains today, but I did have a little pickup today, given that the NASDAQ was actually down 2.4%. Pretty pleased that I was actually up a little bit today. But I'll kind of scroll down here and show you guys. If you see here, you can see my positions. I'm at 14 positions only. At the last video I made, I was at 28 positions. And most of them were doing very, very well. And so that's what happens when there's a market crash. It affects virtually everything in the market to a degree. And a lot of those stop losses triggered, and I am pretty much had a complete reset. I've bought back into some of the same stocks, but I've also picked up some new ones. You can kind of see some of these here. I'm not going to talk on each one of these. Some of these you guys are already a little familiar with because I've talked about them in previous videos. If you see something that you might be, curious about or interested in, I would recommend, doing your due diligence and looking into those stocks. We've kind of talked about how to look at stocks, how to pick good stocks to buy. I'll link those videos up above, but you can find those simply just by going to the YouTube channel and kind of scrolling down through the videos. There's not a lot there, so find the video that says how to pick good stocks to buy. I'll link that above, hopefully, and I'll also link it in the comments below. But kind of start looking through some of those and seeing if some of them may be something that might be a good fit for you. I have kind of myself decided to go back maybe a little bit more into some of the travel stocks. Hotels are not, probably don't have a whole lot of more room to grow. After the pandemic crash, they went way down, and a lot of the hotel chains and hotel companies stocks, they have almost bounced all the way back from where they were before. So I don't know if there's a lot there, but I feel like some of the airlines, United Airlines, American Airlines, I've picked up positions in those. And actually here you can see United Airlines. I just picked up 10 shares and I'm up $36. We'll see. Of course, there's a stop loss set there. I picked up American Airlines. As you can see right there, I have 30 shares. It's just up $10.50. I think I maybe even pick both those up today. So in any case, right now I'm still kind of resetting my portfolio as we speak. So, kind of almost starting off new, like maybe a lot of you. So, I'm excited to get into some new positions, and, in a lot of ways, hopefully it's going to be kind of up from here, but this crash could continue to happen. I mean, today, again, being down another 2.4% is pretty big. We'll have to just see how the next week or couple of weeks goes. We still may see some more drops yet. It is a little hard to buy in to stocks on when, we're just having these continuous drops, because if you buy something, you don't want to buy it and then it just drops and drops and drops. So that's why you have your stop loss set. So you might find yourself buying in on a stock today, and then it goes down tomorrow, you get bounced out of it. But the good thing is it might continue to drop and you would have lost even more and more money. So we really want to keep setting that stop loss. And then when we think it's finally hit a bottom, that's when we want to ultimately buy that. But it might mean buying into it today, getting bumped out of it tomorrow, maybe even buying in again at the end of the day tomorrow. And that's kind of how it can go until finally they reach bottom and then they're going up. The other thing to consider is, and what I've done the past couple of days is started focusing a little bit more on stocks that are doing well right now or not seeing as big of a hit when all these other stocks are plummeting during this crash. So there's a couple of ways that you can do that. And again, if you look back on the penny stocks video, I talk about how to look for some stocks with your screener. Again, I'll try to link that up above here or also in the comments below. Or you can just scroll through the videos and you can find that penny stocks on how to find them. But go to your screeners. For example, since we're talking about this, let's just take a quick look. Let's go to markets. Here we can see we're looking at the performance for today. Let's click on this so we can look at NASDAQ more specifically. You can see I have it on the 2-hour chart here. So basically looking at roughly about the last 3 weeks. And you can see that the market was all the way up at $14,175, and at a low point here was down to $12,397. In any case, if you look over towards the side, you can kind of see that it was around about 11% drop over those 3 weeks, which is huge. And a lot of stocks were down a lot more than that, 20%, and that sort of thing. So those potentially can be great stocks to buy into if they are strong companies and they'll continue to grow, because again, just nearly everything is affected, whether it's a good company or not, during some of these crashes. So in any case, I wanted to just kind of show you guys what the NASDAQ has looked like with these huge drops over the past few weeks. All right, let's kind of take a look, as we were talking about here, with some ways to take a look at maybe finding something new at this point in time. But if we go and we scroll down here, and again, I mentioned this in previous videos, I like to look at top gainers. These are stocks that are probably doing pretty well for whatever reason. You can kind of take a look at these and again, just scroll through. There's a chance you may not want to pick something that's had a huge gain, huge increases, because there's a good chance that is going to drop. It can't usually, a lot of cases, sustain huge gains, but they're probably still worth looking at. In fact, I just picked this one up today. Let's take a quick look at it. Let's go on the daily chart. Yeah, so this one is one. It's probably a little bit on the riskier side. I don't know that I expect it to do a ton, just because, as you can see there, it had a huge spike up, and then it's come quite a bit down. But it was a pretty decent purchase for me today. I am up on it a little bit. In fact, let's just even take a quicker look at today. Yeah, so you can see I bought in kind of a lower point here throughout the day. Actually I missed it a little bit, but I got back in at one point, and it's up around a 9+%. In any case, not the greatest one to look at. Let's move on. Let's look at this Clearside. I have no idea what this is, but let's take a look. All right, so it was down today 6.6%, and then bounced up after hours a little bit. Yeah, so this would be not also necessarily one of the ones I would love to see as far as the chart goes, because as we've talked about, when you're buying stocks, you really want to see that really good upward trend pretty much throughout the 3-month period of time. So anyway, this is how you would ultimately go back and kind of screen through some of these stocks, but these can be a good place to find these, just because if they were top gainers on a down day, hopefully that's an indication that they are a healthy stock, and certainly not immune to the crash or drop, but hopefully they're likely to do better in that type of a market. So in any case, guys, I really wanted to just get a quick video out there to, kind of do some recapping and go over a little bit of this market crash, and what that could mean for you. But for those of you that have been kind of, watching this and trying to see what stocks are doing, now could be, or in the next week or so, could be a very good time for you guys to be picking up some positions. So really something to consider. For those of you that are new to the group and haven't signed up for an account, I highly recommend Webull. It's what I use for these videos. It's what I use for all of my trading. Ultimately, I do use other accounts, but this is the one I prefer the most. I can really do everything with it. Day trade, keep my long trades. I can do all my research here. It's got all the tools you need. So I highly recommend Webull. I will put a link in the, again, description below, and you guys can use that. If you do, you'll get some free stocks. And if you have any questions about any of that, feel free to let me know. Again, you can put those in the comments below. If any of you love any stocks that you're watching right now, also put those in the comments below. But hopefully you guys are going to have some good green days coming up here, and we can be done with this huge downtrend that we've seen. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.